had breakfast with my partner in Prospect, near Mountville. Took my break there. I was thinking, one of the best things that happens, and I thought about this because we just had a conversation at breakfast, one of the best things that happens when each of you enjoys other people, in my case, after she has enjoyed someone else, then we talk about whatever comes to mind. In this case, we talked about a movie that they had watched, and just, what it really does is it gives her the ability to look at my reaction, and she can, because she's intuitive and she's sensitive and insightful, she can tell. It gives her a chance to see how I handle it. And then when I handle it easily, like the king guy that I've been talking about, it gives her a chance to, it's like proving it. Not just in theory, but in actual fact, I can handle it. And then my estimation goes up, my stock goes up, because I'm a stud or whatever. I'm a strong person who isn't cowed by being in an open relationship. It doesn't make me afraid, whereas it would make a lot of people freak out. So there I am, higher up, as opposed to feeling like a chump, like is the alternative, feeling lower than everyone else. Instead, you get the opportunity to prove to yourself and to your partner and anyone else who you're talking to about it, that you're not only not a chump, you're a winner. You have more, not less, because of that. But you have to pass the test. And if you don't, then it goes the other way. And then it's worse than it would have been. It raises the stakes either way. This is the facility in Mountville where we deliver truckload after truckload after truckload of ice. So I've probably got more than 40,000 pounds of ice cream here on this double stacked load all the way to the doors. So I'll get to see which door they want it in, whether they want the doors open or closed, depending on how swamped they are. And then I hopefully will find an empty trailer and take that back to Conestoga. The other thing that can happen in the dynamic of an open relationship is when you level up, like I was talking about a few minutes ago, and it's a new thing for you. You find yourself in a new place, in a more powerful place than you've ever been before, perhaps in any lifetime. So there you are in a new place, and it could be possibly disconcerting for your partner. Your partner might admire you for it, or be more attracted to you, but also might feel a little unsettled herself. She might think, when I send these signals, when we talk about these kinds of things, he usually reacts this way, and this time he didn't. And it makes me feel a little nervous because I'm not sure who he is now. And it makes me want to make sure that I'm leveled up sufficiently. And just to be honest, just to be bluntly honest, sometimes when one partner levels up, the other partner tests. not only to make sure, but perhaps to feel better, because if your partner passes the test and is stronger, because people think we're like a seesaw, that, you know, a win-lose, zero-sum, people tend to think that way if they don't catch themselves and correct it. So a partner's success could be looked at, and I remember talking about my former student who thought about things that way. A person's success, a partner's success, could be looked at as your lack of success. You might feel like, well, I'm not in the same position relative to that other person, so that must mean I'm not as good now, or I'm not as powerful, or I'm not as important. It's not logical from the perspective of abundance. If abundance is how the universe is, and if you believe the universe is abundant, then it's abundant. If you don't believe it, however, it isn't. So if you don't believe the universe is abundant, or you catch yourself in a weak moment not believing, your partner's success could throw you for a loop. And you might even throw your elbows out a little bit and try to get things back to where they were before, to familiar territory. If you're, as an example, if your partner just lost a lot of weight and has been working out, you might be tempted to try to get them back to the way you're used to them being, because you won't feel as uncomfortable. You have to adjust. When your partner levels up, you have to adjust, and you may have to elevate your own game. And not everyone is willing to do that, or even feels that they can do that. So it definitely will change the dynamics of relationships, whatever kind of relationship it is, open or closed. Just had to put more than 20 gallons of fuel in that reefer trailer. Anywho, I was thinking about my shoulder the other day. I was telling you that when I roll my shoulder back and then reach, it feels good. It changes everything about the way that joint works. And so it changes my life for the better and makes everything feel good. Even more importantly, it reduces pain. So if you think about retraining your body, the way you use a particular part of your body, shoulders are a big part of how you feel as you get older. Your back and your shoulders and your hips. So if you can figure out something that makes those parts work better and feel better, that's a real boon to your life. But an even bigger boon to your life is when you retrain how you think. To retrain the way I position my shoulders through the day, it's not easy. It's not the way I've always done it. So I have to change things. I have to be persistent, but the payoff is immense because it reduces the pain. So when I'm thinking about thinking, that's really a big deal. Even a bigger deal than thinking about how I use my shoulder. And the biggest way to change the way I think is about how I think about myself. Thinking about what my life means. Thinking about if I'm worthy of good things in my life. Thinking about how important it is to reorient my sense of value, my own belief. So changing my beliefs about myself, it's the same kind of process. It's hypnosis, it's brainwashing, but really it's just retraining, just the same way I do with my shoulders. If I keep on it, if I keep thinking about it, I can change how I I believe life works, and I can change how I feel about how my life works within the bigger picture of life. And that is a big effing deal. Possibly the biggest benefit is the reduction in pain. When you have rejection sensitive dysphoria, you go through a lot of pain, raw pain, and reducing that really is worth the trouble. What have we here? Oh yeah, the garbage truck's on Saturday because there was a holiday on Monday. Oh well, it's a nice day. They'd probably rather be doing something else, but...
Which result would you like?
But once they realize that life is perfect, no matter what, it'll be good. So I thought of the mantra to keep my mind in the right place. I'm forming a habit of thought, of belief, and I'm going to connect it to the idea of shoulders back. So I think about that a lot, shoulders back. And every time I think about it, I'm going to anchor to that thought, the thought that I want my mind's, my personality's shoulders to be back. It changes how your joint functions, and it changes how your mind functions, and it changes everything for the better. If you think about Aaron Dowdy and what he says about staying in your own frame, how to pull your energy back and not be the cameo in someone else's movie, not to be Mr. Nice Guy and inauthentic, fake ass. Shoulders back is authentic. It's not douchebag, it's not asshole, it's real, and it's strong, and it's assertive. It doesn't allow other people to use you in a codependent way, especially narcissists. So shoulders back makes you narcissist proof, and shoulders back keeps you from being fake ass. And it makes you more attractive mentally and physically. So if you're trying to form new habits, feel free to steal my idea of shoulders back. As Aaron would say, it will completely transform your life.